Well, that was a nice, lovely, peaceful way to get started after 30 minutes of, just technical issues. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Really appreciate your patience. Certainly, we don't like starting things late, but here we are. I'm Derek Silva, operations lead at Reef. You probably already know this face already. With me, I have Andrei Terra, founder of Openfabric. Andrei, how are you today?
Hey Derek, nice to be here in your community. So I'm doing really good, really excited to speak about AI and the things we are doing regarding decentralized AI. So
Yeah,
glad to be here.
good, good. I don't know if I can say you and your team have been ahead of the curve, but certainly you are riding this curve very quickly with all the other things that are happening in AI right now. Stable diffusion, video text or text to video generators, that sort of thing. And I know you guys have been actually working those technologies into Open Fabric, demonstrating how that works. I watched a video earlier today. Mimicking um, Sir David Attenborough's voice, telling a story with images generated by AI, and it wasn't flawless, but it was really, really good. And the cadence, especially of the way the fake, the mock David Attenborough spoke, I was like, this is bang on. Like it's really, really close. I felt like I was watching Planet Earth or something like that, where he's talking about a fox trying to get grapes. Like it was really, really impressive. And yeah, and you guys are kind of like bringing all that together and obviously mounting that that capability to the blockchain. Can you explain in kind of your own words, like what is Open Fabric? What can people use it for? Like what's the platform all about and where are we headed here?
So Openfabric, it's about creating decentralized AI. Right now, most of the AI technology is kind of low and keep contained by the big companies and very hardly accessible to to people. So the vision of Openfabric is basically to make use of decentralized technology and the power of blockchain, so we can scale up and basically decentralize AI, make it widely accessible, and in another word, to democratize AI and basically to make it accessible to a lot of people. So as you saw, all these new videos, all this new content generated by AI, it just depicts the surface. AI is much deeper, much powerful, and it will have a very powerful impact in the years to come. So yeah, with Open Fabric, we are ahead of the curve, because we see where the technology is and what it can be, and we try to do that. We try to empower people to use the same technology that currently is only accessible to big companies like Google or Facebook. So yeah, in a nutshell, our vision and what we have in our plan to do.
Good stuff. And a little while ago, you had actually integrated the ability to, deploy. I'm not sure which way I should describe it. Is it deploy Open Fabric apps to Reef Chain or integrate Reef Chain into an Open Fabric app? Like, how do you see that?
So basically, our main idea is to create bridges, because AI technology is very it requires a lot of time to manage and to deploy and configure. So what we do with Reef, we did an integration, and where people basically building dApps on top of Reef can access on their smart contract level any AI. So this is extremely powerful because it brings to the smart contract like a new layer of intelligence. Instead of handling assets, transferring things, and doing all the things that are normal to the smart. Now with the help of Openfabric, all these Reef developer can actually integrate functionality which come from AI, and this is like the next in developing apps, and especially creating new type of a new category of contract. So yeah,
Yeah.
this is yeah.
Okay. Okay. So it's integrating the Open Fabric AI tools and bringing them into your existing or new dApp that you're building on Reef. Great. What sorts of things have you seen people build so far with the platform, or maybe what's the most popular AI tool that they're integrating into their blockchain app?
So we find a lot of people willing to use AI to generate, like to create NFT generated by AI. So as you know, right now there's a lot of like Stable Diffusion and DALI 2, all kind of these amazing tool that basically can input like a text, and it will generate like a very interesting artistic picture. So there are a lot of new people trying to explore this new way of creating NFTs and digital art. Also, there's a lot of people willing to integrate this kind of content generated in the metaverse, because as you know, metaverse is just starting to emerge, and it will need like a lot of new content that have to be generated. And AI is a very powerful tool that can do especially this part of creating like new content for metaverse.
Yeah, actually, I just want to show this real quick. I don't remember which tool was it. Anyway, this is Stable Diffusion, and so I asked Stable Diffusion, which kind of sounds weird, um, to create an image of me. I use my name getting ready for a kung fu battle in the style of Van Gogh, and this is what we got. And I'm pretty happy with it. Like, apparently, AI Derek has hair, which I most certainly do not have hair on my head, but like certainly Van Gogh style. I'm dressed in I don't remember the name for the suit, but because I took Taekwondo and one of my kids took Kung Fu. But anyway, I'm in a martial arts suit, and I'm like I'm ready to go. So I was amused, but I was pretty pleased. I haven't been able to get such a good result since then, but I think that's like the new art form is like how do you communicate to the AI what you want and therefore get the intended result in the end. That's a new art form unto itself, and I think where artists will still have a lot of work to do and a lot of effort to put in, probably hours to define like how do I actually type this vision out and get the thing I want. Cool. So we're waiting for questions. Other than can there be a search engine like Google? I know a search engine like Google that is on the blockchain. We're trying to get them to come over to Reef. So maybe I'll talk about that later. But this is about Open Fabric. So I'm going to close this other thing. And we've actually got a little bit of a demo for real-time face recognition that you're going to walk us through here. I'm going to hit play, and you're going to let me know whenever you want me to pause so that we can actually see what's happening here. So actually, I think we should back up. So this is the open there we go, the
Yeah.
Open Fabric interface. Like what's the goal here? Are you trying to expose highly like the most popular tools, the best rated tools? Like what are people generally running into here when they log into Open Fabric?
So basically, the idea is that what you're seeing here is like what we call the AI Explorer. So basically, it's something that looks very similar. So every app which is deployed by all the contributors of Open Fabric network will be visible. So the idea is to simplify the entire process to make it easily consumable by the customer, by the end user. So as user, you can see like all the AI apps which are deployed on Open Fabric. In this tutorial, just a few, just to showcase how simple is the user interface and how powerful is it in the end, because it's about hiding all this crazy complexity and all these things which are behind AI, and how easy user can basically use them. So if we continue the video, basically this will showcase a real-time face recognition. So you select an AI app, you create an instance, and it's that easy. You select like the
Yeah.
infrastructure type. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
basically
quick.
pay for everything. And
Okay, so like, so where did this come from? Like, who made this real-time face recognition tool? Who's making the other apps? Are these AI tool developers, like the people behind Stable Diffusion? Is it the Openfabric core team, or like a mix of the two?
basically all these AI apps can be deployed by any developer. We have created like a tool set, some SDKs and integration tool, which let developer to deploy their own AI apps. So similar as you can deploy a smart contract, the developer can deploy a smart contract and instantly accessible to all the people in the network. Similarly, in
Right.
Openfabric, a developer can deploy an AI app and will be instantly available to everyone in the network to use them. So basically, the list
Okay.
of the AI apps you're seeing them are actually deployed by the developers.
Okay. All right.
We,
So you're actually taking
we,
contributions from the developer community.
yes, exactly.
Good stuff. Okay. So you pay, and then you can start to run it. And here
And
we can
now
actually see a little. Go ahead.
so basically, once you click on a button, automatically an instance is created of Openfabric network, which is deployed on its infrastructure. So as an end user, you won't need anything else except your browser. And this is super huge because normally deploying an AI app is something that can take even weeks to configuration, set up infrastructure.
Right.
All the heavy things are happening automatically for the end user. So yeah, basically this is something which just depicts how we creating a real-time face recognition app. And I must say real-time is very important and very hard to achieve in terms of AI, and especially decentralized AI. So yeah, basically, if you run the video, it will show you basically how it's able to recognize where is my face and who am I. So this is it's a simple case, but of course we have many use case, and it's just a simple way to depict how it's working. Of course, it's just for the sake of understanding how we simplify the entire process.
Yeah. Yeah. So we saw you, and then when you showed up or showed a screenshot of Barack Obama, it showed that he was on the screen, and also you, because you were still up there. And then yeah, eventually after you took it away, then it goes back to just Andre. The X and Y coordinates, is that of the image itself? Is that of your head? Is that your eyeballs? Like
It's
what's that measuring?
it's a coordinate of the face, like the box where the face is. So
Okay.
the idea is that you can, and this is something not well in this video, but basically you can take those apps and integrate them further in your website, in your app. So it also gives like a way to communicate with you, like program, or in a way you can basically consume the functionality of those AI apps. So yeah,
Okay.
basically
And
it showed the square where the face is.
okay. And what about, like, it recognized Obama? Is that coming from a public database of, like, no, known figures, or like how did it recognize that it was Barack Obama?
Yeah, but basically you can instruct the algorithm with a list of known people, and basically
Okay.
it's able to recognize from a new context. So let's say you want to create like a KYC application, and you need like something to recognize that your ID is similar to your picture with yourself. Then this
Right.
type of algorithm can be easily used to do that, to automate that part.
Good stuff. Okay. Well, I just did that yesterday. I don't know. It was apparently Stripe does KYC now. I had no idea. I just I just went through their KYC service yesterday for something. Good stuff. Okay, so that's a really good, easy overview. So you have a roster of algorithms, tools, AI tools that developers are contributing. I imagine there's a payment mechanism for them as well if their tool gets used, or are you paying them upfront for contributing the code?
Basically, developers are paid the end user. So each time a user
Okay,
is using the app, they have to pay for it. So the
nice.
idea that we want to encourage people to build, interesting and valuable solution. And of course, we take care of the infrastructure and make sure that everything works and all the pieces are working in a correct way.
Good stuff. All right. Um, good. And you have a yeah, so let's see how this actually works like in practice. You have a demo you can show us as well, right?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to why don't you load that up and then I'll bring your screen into the stream.
Okay. So my screen is visible. So yeah,
Yeah.
basically, this is how it looks like. We have a bunch of apps which are using to test and play with it. I can show you like something with face emotion. Basically, this is able to recognize some features in real time, the same. So it's on the same. It's not like face recognition, as it's recognizing your emotion and some features. Yeah, regarding the that you mentioned, the stable diffusion. So we have a running model. I had some text prepared here, maybe to I don't have time to do the description, but basically you put the text and the model will generate for you like an image.
We got a beautiful dark magician girl, full body. Okay, so head to toe, mystical, ultra detailed. That must mean something. Oh, okay. Volumetric fog, Unreal Oh, so they use the Unreal Engine, make it photorealistic, 8K resolution. Okay, so
Yeah.
this is a very detailed description. See, I was not getting nearly
Basically,
that detailed with Stable Diffusion.
yes. So basically, the more context you provide to the AI, the more detail it will put into the image. So maybe I take another example. I don't know this, and the
One of
idea is
the
that yeah, please tell.
I was just gonna say one of the things I have heard from artists is like things like this. Like they might design the character themselves, or they might need some inspiration for the character. Maybe they've hit a roadblock of some kind. They can't think of what to do. This could help spur that creativity if they had some sort of like you don't necessarily see the face there, but like oh great okay there's a hat and nice colors etc. You might get some more inspiration to move forward instead of sitting for hours or days, trying to think of how to make this character look.
Yeah, so I guess the future it's about using AI as a super tool. I mean, right now we see some example for image generated, but there are also people working, let's say, code generators. So basically, you're describing a program and automatically you use AI to generate the source code for that. So you
Right.
will kind of start to operate on a high level. So this kind of AI technology and AI tool will let us to work on a high level. So basically, we're just instructing what they have to do, but only we give them some very very high level details. Not we don't have anymore to do all the work because we can use AI as a type of super technology. And I guess we're just seeing the surface of it. This is going to be something extremely huge with a lot of impact in all the things we're doing currently. So yeah,
Yeah. So like that looks really pretty, and it was a very detailed prompt. Um, when it comes to uh, integrating, a tool like this one into a DApp on Reef, from my understanding, it's pretty simple. Are you? I didn't ask you this ahead of time, but are you prepared to at least describe, how simple it is, or do you have any code examples you can share to show people like, all it takes is like a couple lines here and boom, you can start tapping
Yeah,
into
so
the Openfabric AI.
yeah, but basically we create something which you call an integration wizard, which is something will guide you step by step on the things you have to do. I guess we have a video about it here maybe.
Oh
And
yes, there we go.
it's quite well, it's a bit techy because it's addressed to the technical people, but it explains the entire how it's working, and basically all the steps what you have to do to have an um, to have your here like it generates the smart contracts, doing deployment for you. You're doing a lot of things to help you with the integration part. So in the run, you only have to call like the end result is deploy smart contracts.
Okay.
So if you get if you go on our YouTube, you will see like the video going step by step explaining everything what's happening. So well, this is just an example using an AI which call a cognitive assistant. You can ask any question, and in return he gets you like a answer about anything. It's like in Alexa, hey Alexa, what is that? What is that? And you get like a response back. So it's just
Yeah.
to demonstrate, but in the end we created all the tools and all the things required to do the integration to help the developers do an easy integration, because we know AI technology, it's quite complex. It has a lot of details under the hood.
Good stuff. Okay. Is there like what's on the roadmap for Open Fabric? You've got the marketplace. I imagine you're trying to attract more developers to bring proprietary tools. Obviously, they'll have to do that themselves. Maybe open source tools you can integrate, fairly easily yourselves. But like, what's the roadmap for Open Fabric look like, and what are you hoping to people will build integrating Reef and Open Fabric together?
So basically, the tools I have shown to you are like the first version. We are preparing to release our second version, which is more enhanced with more feature, more powerful, and we're going to make it like widely available. Right now, it's working like in a sort of private testnet. So our next step would be to release all this and amazing technology to everyone, to use them, to test them, to play with them. And of course, we want to attract more developers, more people willing to build on top of AI and willing to use AI technology in their products and in their things they're doing. And we see that like only like we're putting the foundation of a new type of ecosystem, a new type of technology. With currently, it's as you currently say, it's kind of it at the beginning part. So it's we have a long run, and of course a lot of new things we're going to be deployed and make it accessible to our community and people willing to use and make use of AI technology.
Okay, good stuff. I haven't seen any relevant questions come in yet, so I'm gonna ask an obvious question that somebody probably has in their mind, they just haven't asked yet. Should we expect an Open Fabric token at some point or anything like that?
Yes, so we have a plan to release our token after we've our testnet. We want to release our testnet, let people see how it's working, how powerful it is, and of course after that we have to also to launch our economy so people can actually exchange value, because in the end it's about creating economy, creating an economic value for our ecosystem contributors. So yeah, after we're going to have this step completed regarding the public testnet. The next thing will be to release our economy. So yeah, it going to be available in a few months.
Okay, good stuff. No rush. I knew somebody was going to ask at some point, whether it was now or after the fact, after this is done. So, figured might as well just get it out there now. That's terrific. And what about the infrastructure? It sounds like, like this is more like a platform as a service or software as a service. And like, is there an intent to actually decentralize that hosting technology at some point, or is that unfeasible just because of the complexities?
No, we already doing that. I mean, we have.
Oh, okay,
I mean,
good.
our ecosystem have like four major stakeholders. So they're like infrastructure provider, AI innovators, data provider, and end user. So the part providing the infrastructure are the infrastructure providers. So right now we have prepared a few partnership with some people willing to join us, our early infrastructure provider, providing the computing power required to run and train AI. So we are designing a real decentralized AI ecosystem, and we're taking in consideration all the things you have to do to be real decentralized, because being decentralized is about having a lot of scalability. Because right now, the current systems, since are working like centralized, they're kind of limited of, how much infrastructure those companies can actually provide. But with Open Fabric, our vision is different. We want to let people join and provide their best thing, that they're like a developer, you're putting your apps, or you're like an infrastructure provider, then you can rent your computing power, or you're like a
Right.
company, collecting data, then you can, sell those data to train, new and interesting AI use cases. And also for the end user, we want to simplify the entire process and make them, very comfortable in using something very, very complicated as, AI. So yeah,
Yeah.
if there are people, basically possessing infrastructure power, they can simply join on our network and rent that computing power.
Awesome. No, I think that's great. Especially like the fact that there are, well, I think of T.xyz is trying to solve this whole thing of open source developers basically, not getting paid anything to work long hours, volunteering their time to maintain, review pull requests, etc. This feels like similar to that in the sense that even if the tool is open source, people deserve, money, some payment for their time building up that model, um, and spending the time and the effort to train it and make sure it works and to continue to refine it and stuff like that. And I think this is one nice way to make sure that they actually do benefit from the fact that they put all that effort in and somebody's using it in production and making money probably off of that somehow, whether it's NFTs or a real-time KYC system or something like we talked about, and having an incentive to keep going, right, to keep producing, and to keep the thing maintained, so that we don't run into situations like was it left tab being removed from the npm repo and breaking thousands of apps, something like that. Good. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, well, I haven't seen, again, any relevant questions come in, questions about other stuff that are not related to, to Open Fabric. So we're not going to talk about that. Is there anything else you want to make sure that developers of any kind, whether they are producing the tools or can take advantage of the tools in their DApp, anything else that they should know? Like maybe about getting access to the private test net, or when the full V1 or V2 release is ready.
So we're opening the gates. We are opening access to basically everyone. But of course, if there are any developers who already have creating AI solution, or they have their own, they're willing to basically test our platform, or they just want to join the AI world, start developing AI application. We are more than happy to chat with them, and if there's some synergy and some really good people, we are more than happy to provide them like already like a private access to our closed test net. So yeah, for the rest, yes, some very powerful and interesting things are coming in our next version. we have creating like some new feature, some amazing feature that will simplify even more the process, and we provide some very powerful and full integration tools for, especially for developers that aren't that focus on AI, but of course they want to use AI technology in the things they're doing. And yeah, have to say it will be good to keep an eye on things we're preparing, because really good and powerful things are in place.
All right, good. So everybody, if you want to learn more about Openfabric, visit openfabric.ai. The recording of this on YouTube will have some links in the description. We'll make sure and to go and edit that and add relevant links to Openfabric's website, Twitter account, etc. The YouTube account, of course, because there's a video there on how to very quickly, with one command, get access from your Reef app to the Openfabric AI tool set, and make it really easy for you to add some really cool tools to your NFT generation, to your DeFi app, probably, and other things, and bring some new technology to the fore. Andrei, thanks so much for your time and for putting up with the technical issues we had earlier with Discord. It just wasn't working, so we
Yeah,
came here instead. And best of luck to you. I'm really excited about all the different things that while people are have some timidness towards AI in general, I think it can be cool, really highly used in a really cool way. Like the best chess players now use AI to help them learn how to play better and help learn new strategies. Developers, designers, etc., story writers can use AI tools to help them move their creativity forward as well.
yeah. Thank you very much for having me here on your community. So yeah, I guess we're just starting to see how powerful the AI technology, and we're going to see a lot of more people evolve. And I guess it's a good time to start thinking and investigating how you can use or how you can develop AI technology, because it's like the next which is coming. And this is extremely powerful, and I think it is going to be really huge.
Terrific. All right. Thanks everybody for watching. If you have any questions, go to the Open Fabric website, find the appropriate links, and go ask Andre and the team some questions. Till next time, have a good day.
Thank you. Bye bye.